In this video, we're going to be talking about coronavirus, and the focus here is for people who don't have a very strong scientific background. So I'm going to try to explain coronavirus here in kind of very simple terms. And to begin, we're going to be looking at an onion. You may ask yourself, what does an onion have to do with coronavirus? And the answer is that if you were to take an onion and you look really, really closely with a microscope, you'd see this image over here in the middle. And if you notice, there are these kind of compartments in the image. There are these separate compartments going on here. And when someone first saw this around 300 years ago, they thought, hey, these things are small little chambers. They remind me of prison cells. And so they named this thing a cell. And whether you're looking at a human body, a puppy, a bird, a rose, all living things, if you were to zoom in and just keep zooming in on them with a microscope, you'll notice that they're made up of cells. Here, for example, is someone's cheek swab over here on the left. You swab a cheek, and you can see these small units over here, these small chambers. These are cells. On the right is a drawing of human skin. And again, you can see that there are these chambers, cells. So what is a cell? On the left, there is a drawing over here of a cell. Essentially, there are two main parts that you should be aware of. There's this area over here, this pinkish area. This is the nucleus. All of these other parts just do what the nucleus tells it to do. So inside of this nucleus, this is a nucleus. Over here is the nucleus. Here it is cut in half. You can see inside of it is DNA, this kind of cool double helix structure. And this DNA tells the cell what to do. So just to recap, all living things are made up of cells. And inside of a cell is a nucleus that directs the cell and tells it what to do. So let me go back to this image of the onion. You could see here's the cell, and this dot, these dots over here, this is the nucleus. And this is what's telling this onion cell to grow up like an onion cell. Over here, these are the cells. You can see this dark area. Here's the nucleus where the DNA is. And it tells these cells to become cheek cells. And it's telling these cells over here, you can see the nucleus in here, it's telling these guys to become skin cells. And so this leads us to a picture here of coronavirus. And you may ask yourself, what is coronavirus? Well, the answer is any virus really is very similar to a nucleus. What do I mean? If you were to cut coronavirus in half and take a peek on what's inside, you'll see that it's just filled with DNA. And so coronavirus, like any virus, when it gets inside of a cell, it tells the cell what to do, and the cell listens. It's just like a nucleus. This final slide over here may seem a little complicated, but I want to hammer home this point that the human body is made up of many different kinds of cells. Here, for example, the heart. You can see the heart cells look like this. The liver over here, the liver cells look like this, which is different than the pancreas cells. And so a virus, I'm going to go back to this picture. You see how it has this kind of crown, why it's called corona actually? These little projections are attracted to a specific cell. So there may be a virus that has projections that are attracted to the liver, for example, Hep C. And when it gets in the liver, the genetic information tells the cell to do something. In that particular case with Hep C, it tells it to explode and causes a hepatitis, a liver inflammation. You may have a virus that is attracted to a different cell in the cervix called HPV, human papillomavirus. And when it gets in those cells, it instead of telling them to kill themselves, it actually tells them to expand exponentially, and it causes a cancer. And so coronavirus seems to like the upper respiratory tract, like the lungs area over here. This seems to be where it goes. And it gets inside of the cell and essentially acts like a nucleus. It tells the cells what to do. At this point, I think it's a little too early to know exactly what it's telling the cells to do, whether it's telling them to multiply, to kind of kill themselves, or what exactly is going on. But hopefully this gives a better understanding of what's happening here. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, and I'd be happy to address them. Thank you for your time.